Good morning, traders. It's Wednesday, June 12th. Halfway through another week. I hope your week has been great so far. I'm Jonathan van Clute with Stock Navigators. Quick reminder, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, give us a like on the video, and subscribe to the channel so that you can be kept up to date on some big things that we're going to be announcing very, very soon. And if you've got any feedback at all, any symbols you'd like analyzed, anything you'd like explained, or anything I can do to help out in your trading, throw it in the comments below and I'll see what I can do for you. All right, with that, let's start with the S&P 500, where I always start. And not surprisingly, yesterday failed. That is exactly what I was expecting to happen. You don't always nail these kinds of things, but every once in a while, everything is just so textbook that you just know what is going to happen, what is the absolute most probable thing. And that was a failure. You can see very clearly the sellers came in yesterday. They just took over. If we go down to the 60-minute here, we can see that market tried to push up, but it just wasn't going to happen. It double topped basically right at about this level here, and there's no way that was going to hold. The opening of the market, opening of the day, just gave up very, very quickly and very sharply. And I think that is setting the stage for what is to come, because I do believe this is a wave 1 up, and now we're looking for a wave 2 down, and then potentially a wave 3 higher. However, this brings up a very important note, which is there is another possibility here, and we have to be prepared for all possible outcomes because we don't know with any definitiveness, any certainty. We don't know for sure what the future is going to hold. All we can do is play probabilities. And there's another possible scenario here, which is this entire move here is actually a wave 1 down. This is a wave 2 up, and the next move is a wave 3 down. That is possible. It's also possible that this is an A, a B, and a C to finally land us in our sweet spot retracement down here. So we've got a bunch of possible scenarios here. And this is the thing about wave counts is you only know with a 100% certainty what the wave count is well after the fact. You can't know with absolute certainty ahead of time. Although it can certainly tilt probabilities in your favor as far as direction. And that's really what we use Elliott Wave for. And right now, regardless of which one of those scenarios we're talking about, whether this is about to be a wave 3 down, or whether this is about to be a wave C down, or whether this is about to be a wave 2 down, no matter what, what's the direction? Down. That is the key. We are looking to trade to the bearish direction at this point. So right now we are looking for lower lows and lower highs and looking to take advantage of selling the tips. So it's basically selling any rallies. And then it's just going to be a question of how long is this move? How far down does it go before it turns around? Of course, if it forms a higher low, higher than this, then we have confirmation that this was a wave 2 down. And then as soon as that breaks, we know we have the wave 3 up. Of course, if it breaks this low, then that changes everything. We have to rethink our wave counts. So just keep that in mind. We don't actually know exactly what is shaping up. But at this moment, anyhow, it's looking like we have a wave 1 here. And we're looking for a wave 2 pullback here. And then we'll have to wait and see whether that actually comes to pass. All right, RTY, my personal favorite playground, is basically the exact same, doing the exact same thing. Yesterday, it did the same thing. It failed to move higher, which is exactly what I was expecting to see happen. And that is exactly what did happen. So market just could not get higher than that point right there and is now looking like it wants to sell off. But again, anything can happen. If the buyers want to buy this market, then they can push it higher. It's really just going to depend on what the buyers choose to do. Right now, they're the ones who are going to determine. If the buyers won't buy, if they're just going to stand on the sidelines waiting for a dip, if they're not ready to buy this move yet, then price is going to fall until the buyers decide it's fallen far enough and now they want to buy the dip. So if we pull back down here, get a higher low, then they start buying, they can push it up higher and we can have a wave 3 to the upside. On the other hand, just like with ES, we could be looking at an A, a B, and a C. We could be looking at a wave 1, 2, 3 to the downside. We could be looking at a bunch of different possibilities, but all of them tell us the same thing. Right now, we're looking for down. It's just a difference in how far down. So we use Elliott wave to determine direction above all else. And right now, the direction is looking to be down. So that's what I'm looking to be prepared to trade. All right, crude oil. Well, crude is falling again. The question now is on the daily chart, are we going to make lower lows? I mean, we have a lower high. Are we going to make a lower low, break this level here? Or is this going to be maybe the beginnings of a move up, make a higher low and then break that and move to the upside? Perhaps we've got a wave 1, a wave 2, maybe a wave 3 up. I mean, I haven't actually done the full wave counts, but it could be a scenario. We certainly are in a buy zone right now, and at the moment, it's looking like it kind of wants to hold. Oscillator is moving to the upside. MACD line, however, has not yet been able to cross above the 0 line. It's had a very tough time. Hasn't been able to do it yet. On the 60-minute chart, bears are clearly still in control right now, so we don't have any real significant bullishness happening. Oh, excuse me. On the shorter term time frame, the 13 EMA is below the 50. Everything is pointing down at the moment. And same thing in the daily. I mean, we're below the 50. 13's below 50. Price is below the 13. Everything is bearish. So, although, yeah, it could be that we're shaping up for an uptrend, higher highs and higher lows, we certainly don't have it yet. So, we're going to need to give this some time to settle down, figure out exactly what it wants to do, and then see about an entry. And don't forget, we still have this level down here. So there is another significant, very major buy zone down below if this one doesn't hold. Right now, it could go either way. It really could. I mean, we've got the previous low back here, which so far is kind of holding this whole area here where buyers are willing to come in. It's holding right this instant, but hey, it could go either way. It absolutely could. So right now, as far as I'm concerned in crude, it is a wait and see, or if you absolutely positively had to trade, well, you still got to trade in the bear direction because things are still at the moment doing lower lows and lower highs. We have pulled back into the 61.8. My belief, and that was based on my belief that we had a wave 1, 2, and then this whole thing was a 3. And now we have pulled back to the 61.8 of that entire move, actually even slightly below it. And just got to see what's going to happen from here. So this is definitely a wait and see market as far as I'm concerned. I think it's a little too extended to the downside to want to really jump into the short side at this level, other than, I mean, maybe for scalps, short term, really intraday trading on, 15-minute charts, 5-minute charts, Renko charts, something like that. But for anything long, I'm waiting to see some kind of confirmation of a reversal. All right, gold. Well, gold is hanging in there. And if the market sells off, I wouldn't be surprised to see gold head to the upside. So we've had a bit of a little dip here after this monster run up, bit of a pullback. If we can head higher and take out this level here, then no question at all, there is a significant bullish move happening. On the 60-minute chart, well, right now, the bulls are kind of in control. But I see a little cautionary sign, which is that once we got up to here, this whole push up here, look how high the oscillator was. And then oscillator was lower, oscillator was lower, oscillator's a little bit higher than here, but still lower than all back here. So the trend here is not exactly picking up steam. In fact, it's been pretty much just sideways this whole section here. So a little bit cautious about seeing a big move to the upside. We are also near the upper end of this channel that price has frequently been stuck in the past. And at the moment, if it can break this high, then great. That's the first step towards challenging the real high, which is back here. So gold has got some work ahead of it to be able to really break to those lofty heights of 1360 to 1400 and maybe above. If the broader market if the broader market truly collapses and just falls apart, then would see a big catalyst in gold, and that could send it just really launching to the upside. But we got to have some kind of confirmation of that. Right now, we just don't really have it. It's a wait for me. I don't see any clear cut indications of direction or really what to do right this moment. All right, natural gas is bouncing. So maybe we're finally going to start turning around to the upside. But I mean, that's what I thought back here. We had a bounce, we had a higher low, we even broke that, had a higher high, but we didn't get anywhere even close to the previous higher high, or excuse me, lower high, I should say, which was here. So we fell down, collapsed below that level, down into the buy zone. Right now, anyway, that buy zone is holding. We've kind of double bottomed on the oscillator here, so that's potentially bullish. We have a slightly bullishly divergent price, but it's nothing really major. And the buy zone from way back is certainly still in effect. And right now, it's stuck in there. So we've got some work cut ahead of us, work cut out for us here. Because in order to establish any kind of genuine uptrend, we've got to get above the zero line on the oscillator. We've got to take out this high here. There's a lot to do. So if you're a natural gas bull, you're either getting in here for the long side and have a stop maybe just outside the bottom of the buy zone or just outside these lows, depending on what your risk parameters can handle. But you got to accept that there's no confirmation yet. Don't really know what's happening. Now, one thing I do like is as price is climbing here, we've got oscillator actually climbing as well. That is a really good sign. That is what you should see in a growing market, a growing trend, I should say, a growing bull market is, as the market pushes higher, the oscillator goes higher as well. The momentum increases. So that's a first hint that perhaps this is the reversal that this market has been waiting for. Certainly, if it can get over the 13 EMA and hold it, that would be a really good first step. And after that, of course, the 50, and then perhaps we can actually turn this thing around, get above the zero line, and start to head to the upside. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is just trying really, really hard to hang in there. It does not want to give up these incredible gains that have happened here. Then buyers came in, bought this dip hard, pushed us back up for what I believe is a wave of 5. So at the moment, we got to wonder, all right, well, did we have an A, a B, and a C? And now we are just in the early stages of a wave 1 up again? Or is this whole thing maybe just the beginnings of an A, and then we're going to have a B and a C? Or, is this on a much bigger time scale? Is this actually going to just continue to the downside? Was this whole thing, in fact, was this whole move up, in fact, just a retracement of a really big time scale downtrend? And now we're looking at, a wave, maybe a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, etc., and we're heading down. So it is not very clear right now. This is again a wait and see moment, wait and see period of time. We have popped below the zero line on the oscillator, so that is potentially a little bit worrisome. And right now, price is just going nowhere. We had a doji yesterday. We're doji sideways today, although the day is only just getting started. And on the 60 minutes, it's just been kind of sideways, just chopping around, not really going anywhere, not really trending. We've got a weakening oscillator, so that's a little bit concerning. All in all, right now, all you can really do is wait and see. If you are looking to trade Bitcoin and you are not doing something that's an automated trade, you're not running bots or anything like that, you're actually manually trading it, then you need to wait for some kind of a sign of a clear-cut trend. Right now, we just don't have it. So hopefully something shapes up in the near future for those of you who want to actively trade Bitcoin. Okay, let's go back and take a peek at the S&P 500 again, make sure it's still there, and it is. So it is looking to the downside already this morning. Market kind of selling off a bit. Overnight, market was mostly sideways and then started to drift down just a little bit when Europe came online, but nothing really that significant. It's pretty much just been sideways since the close yesterday, right about there. So not a whole lot of action, not a whole lot going on. It's kind of just holding its breath here. We are right at the 50 SMA on price. That is a very significant level. And if that level is broken to the downside, then we can certainly expect some follow through to the downside as well, based on everything I talked about before. So we'll have to see what the open gives us in 34 minutes exactly. Looking forward to that. All right, I'm going to wrap things up here this morning then. Again, I'm Jonathan van Clute with Stock Navigators, reminding you to press that thumbs up button. Give us a like on the video. That would be helpful. And throw any feedback, comments, questions, anything like that you've got down in the comment area below. Definitely love to get your feedback, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can be kept up to date on what we are doing. We got some really cool stuff cooking in the background that we will be ready to announce very, very soon. So you want to be staying tuned for that. That's it for me. I'm going to go get ready for the premium trading room this morning. For those of you who will be there, I'll see you there shortly. Everybody else, I will be back again to do this on Friday. So I hope you have a great Wednesday. I hope you have a good day of trading ahead if you trade today, and same for tomorrow. And I'll see you back here again on Friday. Same time, same channel. See you then. Bye-bye.